afternoon. This is Robert Carter, SANY District Technology Codes, coming back to you with Scratch Junior. Scratch Junior is a free web-based computer coding platform for grades K and 1. It is available for free on the Chrome Web Store. In this video, I'd like to go over the format mainly, as well as some of the resources that are built into the platform. So let's go ahead and go into the home. Takes a second with the web base sometimes, so please be patient. Let's start over here with this book on the right-hand side. You're going to see some of the materials that come with the platform. So it's going to start with just a little about section, what it is, why they did it, who worked on it, etc. The interface guide is really nice. So this is going to give you a graphical user interface and kind of tell you what each section does. Excuse me. So it's important that you know where these resources are and point them out to your students as well. The Paint Editor Guide, there's kind of a very stripped down Microsoft Paint version built in so that you can edit backgrounds and characters in Scratch Junior. It's really nice, and this gives you a little bit of a layout as what it is. And as well as the blocks guide. Now the blocks are visual coding blocks that students are able to manipulate with their either finger or their mouse, depending on whether they're using a Chromebook or they're using an iPad. And as you see, they're all different sections. So you've got triggering blocks. You're going to see that you're going to have motion and movement blocks, and then you're going to have look blocks, sound blocks, controls, and ends. So you've got a lot of different categories, and you're going to see when we go into the actual coding interface. Let's go over to this guy right here, this question mark. You're going to see that we have a quick intro video to Scratch Junior, as well as example products that you could use to introduce the platform to your students. Let's go to the home button here again. You see, I was playing around with this earlier, but we're going to hit plus on our projects here. It's going to load. Now, please keep in mind, if you're using this platform on a Chromebook where you have all your students sign in to the same Chromebook, these things are usually saved locally. So you might not want to get them used thinking that they're going to be able to access their prior work each time. So I would kind of get used to self-contained lessons where wherever you finish, don't expect to have the same thing later. Every day, coding day would probably be a blank slate with students. But let's go ahead and take a look at the format and some of the options for your students. So we're always going to start with the cat, and you see we've got the editor button right here. That brings you to an MS Paint type of situation where you can color the cat differently. Actually, let's take a quick look. So I can change his color. I can add additional graphics to him. There's any number of options in here. I can add different graphics to the background, any number of things. Wherever the kid's imagination could go, they can use this area. But I do caution that this area can be a little bit distracting for students, and you want to probably limit how much time they spent in the editor. You've got undo and redo buttons as well too, and snapshots, sniping tools and stuff like that. But back to the regular page, this is where most of the meat and potatoes, metaphorically speaking, is going to be. Looking at the top, we can put grids down to help with the coding. We can change the backgrounds. Now, the backgrounds can also be edited with the paintbrush function, but we're just going to change it. Let's change it to winter for now. As you see, our background changed. Let's take our grid off so that we can see everything a little bit better. We can move our character around if we choose. We can name the environment that we're working on. Oh. We've got an undo button that we can use. And when we get into the coding portion, the green flag is actually a trigger. We're going to talk a little bit about that when I get into the coding portion. On the left-hand side, we've got the ability to add additional characters. And those characters can be edited again. But let's just put one in for right now. And you can add repeated characters and rename them. On the right-hand side, we can put additional canvases is probably the best way that I would say. You see, plus, I get a new blank slate. So I could code maybe something here that had a little bit more of a warm scenario. And I can give a different scenario for each individual area with different sets of code in each one. Let's go back to our Winter Wonderland here. Down here, we'll see our code. Now, each one is separated into sections. Like this, for example, is our triggers. Here's our movements. Here is our look, so to speak. You can allow for characters to grow, to shrink, and to talk. Sound. And these are going to be trigger movements. So this can be wait, this could be stop altogether, and then these could be repeat, as well as end commands. So with this video, it's been important for me that I'm just going to go through the interface and the interface alone for now. Look towards one of my subsequent videos where it's going to show you coding from each section and then coding multiple characters as well. I hope this has been of some use, and have a great day.